Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Cyber Reviews, and today we are going to review this beginner Sony A5100 camera that I use in recording my videos. This thing sells for $448 on Amazon. And if I find a link or a deal which is cheaper, I'm going to put it in the description below. So make sure you always check the description so that you can find where you can buy it at the best price. But for $448, when you buy this, you're also getting a lens, a very good prime lens, which comes with it. You can also get a renewed version for about $400. So make sure to check the description for the links to all the best deals I find. And anytime I find a better deal, I'm going to update the description. Now, I'm not going to do this review like a professional photographer or anything. I don't consider myself to be a professional photographer. I just consider myself to be an average consumer. And when I started my YouTube videos, I was using my smartphone to do all the recording. In fact, right now I'm recording on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. Okay, but then I saw that other people were using professional cameras and it looked really good and crispy. So then I decided to get one, and because I was a newbie, I didn't want to get anything that is too complicated. And I find that the Sony A5100 is perfect for beginners like me, people who have no knowledge of photography or no knowledge of videography or no knowledge at all of how to use a camera. Now, I know a lot of people are very passionate about Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, Sony. I know people can get very passionate. But before you come and bash me in the comment section and drag me through the mud, please, I'm just an average consumer. I am not a pro, not at all. So with that, let's get straight into the review.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Now, before we begin though, if you are new to my channel, I do phone reviews, mobile app reviews, and I bring to you amazing, affordable gadgets so that you can enhance your entire mobile experience. So if you like that kind of content, please click on the subscribe button below and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Now, this is an excellent camera for people who are just starting out on their content creation journey because, like I said, when I was starting, I was shooting solely on my iPhone X. But I've seen that this thing brings a certain level of quality for people who want to do content creation. Okay, so if you go through my videos, starting from like my very first videos till my last couple of videos, you'd see the progression in quality of the picture. And it's because eventually I switched from using my iPhone X to using the Samsung Galaxy A5100. So now let's talk about the price. It's a well-known fact that Sony makes one of the best cameras and some of the best lenses in the world. But then it's also another well-known fact that their cameras and lenses are pretty expensive as compared to those of Canon and Nikon for like the same specs. Okay, I do all my reviews on my own, so I need a camera that when I set it up, it can be able to focus on whatever I'm talking about, whether it's the phone, as the camera, as a product, as a gadget. I need it to be able to focus quickly so that I don't need to be moving back and forth from where I'm standing and going back to the camera and then setting the focus and all that. And this thing has one of the best autofocus times you're going to get on any camera at this price range. Next, let's talk about the image and video quality. To be honest, the picture quality on this thing is so good that usually after filming, I don't need to do any kind of color correction. It looks so true to life. You get the colors the same as you are seeing with your naked eye, and it's excellent. Now let's talk about recording modes. This phone is able to record from 720, 1080p, even 1080p up to 60 frames per second. So if you want to do slow motion footage or kind of like a cinematic footage, you can use the Sony A5100 to record up to 1080p, 60 frames per second. When using this phone, you can download a companion app which helps you to preview and adjust your shots to get the best shots. So you just mount the phone on your tripod, use your companion app, you'd be able to see everything, adjust yourself, adjust the ISO, adjust everything before you can actually press the companion app on your phone to start recording. And I think it's a really essential feature. Now this camera has a flip screen. Okay, so another good reason why I like it as a content creator. So basically, if I'm recording a video, all I need to do is to turn the camera on, and once I turn the camera on, I flip the screen and I'm able to see everything whilst I'm recording. So if you don't have the companion app or you don't have a smartphone to be checking all these things on, you can just use the flip screen and you'd be able to see everything that you're recording. And it's really, really fantastic for content creators who are working alone. Talking about shooting, this camera has some peculiar issues I've noticed whilst using it, and these have also been reported by other users. First of all, overheating. This camera tends to overheat when you record past like 15 minutes, and a temperature or thermometer icon will appear on it, and then you would know that you need to quickly save your footage, or you might probably lose it, or you need to stop recording. So when you're using this camera, you need to really plan out your videos before you start. You need to plan out your script, plan what you're going to shoot, plan what you're going to see so that you don't waste a lot of time, it gets overheated, and then you lose your content. Really important. Now, the next other thing I've noticed is that the battery doesn't really last very long. And so when you're using this camera, one of the accessories you need to buy is another battery. And you can take it to the next level and buy what is called a dummy battery. Now, with a dummy battery, you just plug it in just like you would with a normal battery, but it comes with like a cable that you can connect to your power bank or you can connect to your laptop, and it allows you to shoot continuously, at least until it overheats and you can not shoot any longer. Now, the last thing you need to know if you're going to buy the Sony A5100 camera is it doesn't have any audio input, so you can't connect an external microphone to it. However, it's able to pick up audio directly from the camera, but it's not as crisp as you would if you were able to attach an external microphone. Okay, so what I usually do is I connect my lapel mic to my phone, record, film, and then sync it later in post. You could find another way out, and if you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments below. Now, this camera comes with an interchangeable lens, so all you need to do is there's a knob on the front of the camera where you press down and then you rotate the lens and then it comes off, and you can put any other kind of lens that you have on it. You should probably get a wide angle lens as well, but for me, this is able to do for my purpose for now if you're sort of like on a low budget. And once you fix it, you have your full, excellent Sony camera. Now, it also has a flash, so there's a button. Once you press, the flash comes up, and I've noticed that when you are using the flash to record videos or take photos, it tends to kind of like overexpose the image, so you need to have your ISO settings and everything just right. So talking about ISO settings, let's talk about the menu settings on this camera. Like I said, I'm a newbie, so when I go into the menu, I find there are a lot of configurations and options on it, and I don't really touch any of them that much. All I do is I record in manual mode. You can also record in program auto. There are lots of recording modes that you can actually use, and each of them will give you a certain look and a certain profile. But I like manual because there are about 3 things I need to change. 1, the ISO. 2, the f-stop, whether f1.8, 2.2, all those things. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I just put it on the one which gives me the best look for the purpose that I'm using it. It also has a viewfinder, so like it shows you what you are going to get as you are changing the menu settings. Okay, so when you are increasing the ISO, you can see it in real time. When you are increasing the f-stop, you can see it in real time. Everything that you do, you can see in real time. So with this lens, you're able to get really good depth of field. Like, it's able to separate the subject from the background, and it's really good for product photography. It's good for recording videos, maybe not too much for vlogs because this particular lens is not a wide angle lens, but it really gives you that crisp autofocus and depth of field and bokeh effect. Okay, so I really love this Sony A5100 camera. I know I haven't covered everything. Yes, also, it has a touch screen, but it's not the kind of touch screen that you're thinking about. So this touch screen just allows you to focus on the image. Okay, so if you have 2 images, you can just click on the touch screen and then it will focus where your finger is pointed at. That's all, but you can't use it to navigate the menu items and other UI elements. The pictures out of this camera are really, they are excellent. They are very, very beautiful. The video quality is also excellent. And you can see some of the pictures I've taken like newbie like me, someone who is not a professional photographer, see the amazing pictures I've been able to take. This thing can really eat up your storage very quickly because it produces really high quality videos. And so if you are going to buy it, maybe you should consider getting a 256 gig SD card or even larger. I like the build of this camera as well. It's very light and it's easy to carry around and use to film. But one thing it lacks is that it doesn't have inbuilt body stabilization. Like there's no image stabilization of any sort. So initially when I started recording videos with it, you notice that the videos were very shaky. So it'll be very good for you to get a tripod when you buy this. Buy a tripod so that it can be steady, and if you buy a fluid head tripod, you can, get some really smooth, steady product shots. And we are going to talk more about the accessories you need to get if you buy the Sony A5100. So if you haven't yet subscribed, subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Now let me know in the comments what other features you would want me to talk about in my full review and in my accessory review. Thanks, Bebre.